Hola chicos, welcome back to the second part about how to tell that something belongs to someone. For this particular lesson, we're going to be working with possessive adjectives. As a reminder, we can't use apostrophes in Spanish. If we want to say Mary's family, we're going to have to reword it to say the family of Mary, la familia de Mary. You know possessive adjectives though. That's what our focus is of this lesson. You've heard the expressions, my house is your house, mi casa es tu casa. We know mi means my, tu means your in an informal way. So mi casa es tu casa, Mary. Mi casa es su casa is another way or version of saying this. Su would be like your formal. Mi casa es su casa, Señora Cohen. Or if you want to talk about your in a plural way, like you're talking to multiple people, mi casa es su casa, Mary y Jorge. So if we want to look at some old expressions, Mary's family would be her family. Her is my possessive adjective. This is the word that sits before the noun, in this case family, to show who or what owns it. Her family. This family belongs to Mary. La familia de Mary, su familia. Su sits before familia to show that Mary owns it. Harry's jacket would be his jacket. La chaqueta de Harry, su chaqueta. We can organize our possessive adjectives into the chart below to match the charts that we've been using for our conjugations. My, your informal, his, her, its, or your formal, our, your, their, or your for multiple people. They look like this. My would be me or mis. Your would be tu or tus. Su and sus mean many different possibilities. His, her, its, your formal. If you notice on the other side of the chart, it can also mean their or your for multiple people. The form for our, there are 4 different ways to say that. Nuestro, nuestros, nuestra, nuestras. Your would be, your from Spain would be vuestro, vuestros, vuestra, vuestras. Notice that the forms for me, tu, su, and sus, these all have singular and plural versions. That's it. So they must match the number. They must match a number of what is owned. So for example, my brother would be mi hermano. My brothers, mis hermanos. Okay, so here's some examples. If we look at both a singular and masculine version, a singular and feminine version, a plural and masculine version, a plural and feminine version, the only difference that we have is using me and mis for if they're singular or plural. Same thing with your brother, tu hermano, tus hermanos, your sister and your sisters, tu hermana, tus hermanas. The only difference is that tu and tus has a difference in singular versus plural. Same thing with his or her brother, su hermano, sus hermanos, su hermana, sus hermanas. Same thing for their or your brother, the your plural. Su hermano, sus hermanos, su hermana, sus hermanas. This is different, however, when we get to the forms of nuestro and vuestro. These have 4 different forms. You have to keep in mind the gender of what is owned as well. So here are some examples. Our mother, nuestra madre. Our father, nuestro padre. Our sisters, nuestras hermanas. Our brothers, nuestros hermanos. And then if you have a group of mixed, the grandparents has both a grandpa and a grandma, you would still give it the masculine form, nuestros abuelos. So you have to keep in mind the gender and number of what's owned. Here are some examples again, and you can see what changes. Our brother, nuestro hermano, but when you change it to sister, it changes to nuestra hermana. And then you would take the plural forms of those as well. Same thing for your brother, the way that you'd use it in Spain, like multiple people, your brother, vuestro hermano, your sister, vuestra hermana, and then you take the plural forms of those as well. Okay, so you're going to see this in context. My family is big. My family has 6 siblings. My 6 siblings and I are hardworking, like our parents. Okay, so mi familia es grande. Mi is in the singular form because familia is singular. It's just one family. Mis 6 hermanos y yo. Mis is in the plural form because I'm talking about multiple siblings here. Mis 6 hermanos y yo somos trabajadores como nuestros padres. Nuestros takes the masculine form because I'm talking about parents and my dad's in that group. It also takes the plural form because padres is plural. So putting this all together, my 3 things that I need to remember. Possessive adjectives sit before the noun that is owned. My dog, your cat, our relatives. They all must match in number, singular versus plural. That includes the mi, tu, su, nuestro, vuestro, su. But nuestro and vuestro also have to match in gender. Nuestro hermano, nuestra hermana. And that concludes this part of our lesson for today. I want you to go and complete the questions that you have in the next part of your practice. Buena suerte.